All right, guys, functions. Here we go. This is our week 2 for the programming. Today we got a group class all together, so we're gonna go all together today in 9:45 in the morning. Our workout's gonna be a upper body starting point with the strength. So we're gonna work on strict presses. We're gonna build up to a 5 rep max in about 4 to 6 sets. And then whatever that ends up being, so when we find that final 5 rep max, we're gonna cut that down, go to 75% of that, and do 3 sets of 5 there. So the goal is build up to the 5 rep max and then drop down and do 3 sets of 5 at that weight. The goal is to build that strength in the upper body and then finish off with some drop sets to build a little more stamina in the upper body and get more strength work in there. So in this, we got 20 minutes to work through both parts there. And then for you guys, it's like if you need to use dumbbells or if it feels good with the barbell, go with the barbell. If you have any imbalances, maybe some dumbbells might be a better choice for you today. And just make sure you're recording and tracking what weights you're using for this. So after that, our workout, 5 rounds for time, 9 front squats, 6 bar muscle ups. For you guys, this is what it can look like. 9 heavy goblet squats, so challenging kettlebell kind of squat progression. And then the bar muscle ups, we're going to think of some kind of ring row progression that feels tough. I would say somewhere between like 8 to 12 reps would be good. So if you're not really sure, like if you have the right progression, I would say like be able to do 3 to 5 reps before you really need to take kind of a break. So definitely look into the progressions and the angle that you do your ring rows at. You want to go a lot more challenging than what you're used to because I do want you to take some breaks and challenge the strength of it. So if you're used to kind of being at a 45-degree angle, drop that down to a 30-20 degree angle and make it challenging. And yes, you probably will be able to do less reps, and that's okay. That's the point of today's workout because we're trying to work on strength endurance. So for today, goblet squats and ring rows would be a really good progression for it. It's 5 rounds for time. We want to test the strength endurance, so it should feel heavy. You have heavy breathing. You have to kind of take your time between reps and sets. It's not like a fast-paced cardio workout. So that's the stimulus of today. For Monday, and then going into our Wednesday workout there, we're going to continue our same theme. So the skill and activation, just like last week, we're going to activate the radial nerve, mobilize that nerve, because that's really responsible for a lot of our hand motions and a lot of our tricep motion too as well, activating the tricep muscle. So we got to make sure the nerve is actually aware and is sending those signals to the muscle to be able to even activate the tricep in the first place. This is also really important in pushing and pulling. It's kind of like our braking muscle. So it's like the brakes of our arms. When we're doing a bench press, our triceps are taking the eccentric load or the descending part of the bench press. So if our triceps are not really engaging, something else might be compensating. So that's why we're focusing on that radial nerve, trying to activate it or mobilize it a little bit so that it's giving the right signals to the muscles. And then we're going to take that tricep and actually activate it and go into an isometric. So hold it and create some tension in there so we can feel the tricep activate. So 3 sets of that to create some sensory awareness and muscle activation, which is going to lead us into our bench press. 5 sets of 5, just like last week with controlled descents. We're going to build up based on what we did the last week. And the goal is to build upper body strength. We're going to feel this in the chest, triceps, and the lats. And then our workout for time, 21, 15, 9, 15, 21. Strength endurance is our stimulus using kettlebell deadlifts and push-ups to get that today. So the kettlebell deadlifts, pick something where you're doing about 8 to 10 reps unbroken, but it feels tough to do. And the same idea with the push-ups as well. Be able to do 8 to 10 as you're going through the workout with some fatigue. So if you have to break that down even more, just make sure you make your progression more suited for that 8 to 10 rep range there. So if I look at this workout, when I get to the 9s, I should be almost finishing that in 1 set. I might have to break it up into 2 sets, and that's okay. And then when we build up to the 15s and 21s up again, that's where the challenge is really going to start. So be smart about your progressions that you choose in the beginning, stick to them. It's supposed to be a grind at the end with those last 15 and 21. So strength endurance is the key with that one. And then going into our Thursday, this one's going to be focused, our skill is going to be focused on proprioception, our vestibular system, and our vision system. So we're going to work on our low back and creating some awareness of where that is with low back front circles. We're going to work on our balance with a single leg stance. And then we're going to do some vision work. Last week we did circular smooth pursuits. We're going to work on triangular smooth pursuits here. So it's going to be a little bit of coordination. We're going to have more vergence with the eyes. So our eyes are going to go in and then out as well to accommodate for the distance of our target. And it's going to be a good way to activate different brain areas to help with stability and, again, more sensory awareness, which is going to help us move better. So overall, awareness is the focus for that first part, and that's going to help us warm us up for the workout, which is a nice little skill endurance workout, 15 minutes, 20 skips or jumping side taps, 5 hang dumbbell snatches per side, and 5 single arm ring rows per side. Great workout to work on our skill here, our endurance, and even some imbalances because we got one-sided movements here. So it'll be a really, really good one. And then finally, our last workout of the week, this day is focused on conditioning and our breathing. So we're going to go into our skill and activation. This is going to be a part of your warm-up, 10 to 15 diaphragm stretches, version 2 or version 1 if we're still working on the movement itself. We're creating breathing skill and awareness to take us into the workout, which is going to be a good workout where we're going to focus on our pacing and build that endurance. So 5 rounds for consistency, 15 step-ups, 5 inchworms with a push-up, 15 squats, 10 slam ball ground to overhead. So taking that red ball and going into an overhead position and then bringing it back down. And then a 2-minute row right after at a recovery pace. So we just want to slow it down and kind of go at a gentle pace to let our heart rate kind of settle without taking a full rest. And then we want to get back into the next round after that 2-minute row with the same intensity, with the same challenge. For the step ups, choose something where, again, I would say this should take you about a minute 30 to complete. So somewhere around, again, everyone's going to be different, but maybe around like a 16 to 24 inch box. 5 inchworms, that push-up. If you need to do that push-up off of a box, you can definitely just focus on the inchworm part of it without a push-up. Squats, adjust as needed, and make sure you choose a good weight for that ground to overhead, where it's not super heavy, where you can keep good technique and form and focus on endurance today. So hope you guys have fun with this week, and then we'll see you guys next week for week 3 of the programming. Have fun, guys.